Here we are in front of an apple tree. Time to do some thinning. Actually, we probably should have done some thinning last week. These are starting to get a little big here. But notice as you go down this branch, there's a cluster, there's a cluster, there's a cluster, there's a cluster. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and thin to 1 per cluster. So it's basically 1 per fruiting spur. So I'm going to go ahead and look through, see if there are any blemished fruits. Actually, all of these fruits really look pretty good. So I'm going to go through and just pick off 1, 2, and notice I'm kind of bending this stem back just a little bit there. Rather than trying to pinch with my fingernails, these fruiting stems are now thick enough that you can't really pinch with your fingernails. Notice this one, we have some small inferior fruit. We're going to go ahead and pinch those off. Those might naturally drop anyhow, but we'll go ahead and get them off right away. And the other trick is holding on to the fruiting spur or the fruiting bud while you're doing this so you don't actually pinch that fruiting spur, fruiting bud off of there. Okay, all right. So we'll take this guy off. Notice, bend it back. And it will kind of break right off that bud. Bend it back. This one looks really good. So we'll take this one off. All right. All right, here we are in a European pear tree. And this is definitely not as loaded as the apple tree, but we're going to go through and thin to 1 per cluster again, and we're going to also look for blemished fruits in the process. In some cases, some of these blemishes are just superficial little scratches. If they're superficial little scratches, we will leave those on. So here we have a cluster of 3, so I will find the best looking fruit. Oh, that looks like that might be plum cucurleo. So we'll get that off of there. And the nice thing about these pears is the stems, the fruiting stems, break a little bit easier than apples. So 1 per cluster. That looks pretty blemished, so we're actually not leaving the largest fruit, we're leaving the unblemished fruit in some cases. We don't want to throw these fruits on the ground. We want to collect them because let's say the fruits do have an egg that's been deposited on it, or there could be a little caterpillar that's already within that fruit that you've thinned. Throwing it on the ground is just going to exacerbate the problem. So put them in a bucket, and then with all of these fruits, really you should just go ahead and throw them away in the trash can. Sure, you could put it in a well-tended hot compost pile and it will cook, but it's best to just throw them away.